What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and it's time for another character review. This time we will be reviewing the latest Special Operations character, Ares. So let's get started with some PvE combat, and then at the end of the video we'll switch to PvP. Now for this video we're going to be using Hawkeye as our team up, and this is for a couple reasons. First off, I wanted to be a little bit different from what I've already seen and heard about team-ups for Ares. Secondly, when you have a character that'll help you join in on attacks, like Ares and his amazing passive, few characters can beat Hawkeye in terms of sheer number of attacks. Now this of course depends on how often rapid fire procs, but when Hawkeye gets on a roll, there's few characters that can beat him in terms of attacks, as we're about to see really soon here. We'll start off by firing against this blaster. We did gain rapid fire, and then Ares joins in with an Art of War attack. Then we get to fire again due to tactical maneuvers, and we finish off the other character. So that's the end of our first battle already. Now for this battle we're going to be fighting against the epic boss Venom. We've also switched to some of the Vindication sets, so we'll be showing you some of those items as well. On Hawkeye's turn we started out with a Pinpoint Target. Now we're going to go ahead and try to stun that top tactician. So let's use a Trick Arrow. He does have a chance to gain rapid fire, but not this time. He does, however, stun the tactician. Next we're going to use the Power Cell on our agent's turn. And as you see, it has that Sonic Blast, which we will be trying out against Venom. So I'll show you exactly what that does against a symbiote. Another good thing about using a quick action item along with the Coulson's Revenge is that you proc coordinated attack. Then when you attack with your weapon, you get a chance for your teammates to join in. We used the Void Generator, and there you see Hawkeye does join in on the attack. And we really don't care whether it's Ares' passive or the coordinated attack from the Coulson's Revenge. All we care about is if our teammates join in. Ares' level 9 ability, Crush Your Enemies, is really amazing because it hits all enemies, it's catastrophic, it causes stun and removes buffs. So that's a really strong ability. And as you saw there, we did stun the other minion. With Hawkeye, we like to put Pinpoint Target on all the enemies. And that's because we can use the volley and gain rapid fire on multiple targets. This works out quite a bit. And on top of that, we also have teammates that can join in, thanks to Ares and also to the Coulson's Revenge. So now we're moving on to the final wave, and that's going to be against the epic boss himself. Let's see who gets to start out. It's going to be Hawkeye, so let's go ahead and put Pinpoint Target on the blaster. Then we'll try to stun him, and we'll gain an extra turn due to tactical maneuvers. We're looking for rapid fire, and we actually get it. So we're going to be shooting him again. But first our agent joins in on the attack. And we finish the blaster just like that. Now unfortunately we have to recharge. But as soon as it's our agent's turn, we're hopefully going to try out that Power Cell on Venom. And we'll see exactly what it does to a symbiote. Now we actually gained some War Never Changes procs. And what this says is, chance to join in on an ally's attack, or chance to retaliate when an ally is hit by single target attacks. And that's due to the God of War passive from Ares. And throughout all of this, the Void Shield is holding up quite nicely. Then we get the standard combat reflexes counterattack. Now let's use this Power Cell, and we'll see what the Sonic Blast does against Venom. So there you see we get the high capacity charge, and Sonic Weakness pops up. Venom takes a little bit over 2,700 damage. Next we're going to target Venom with the Coulson's Revenge, and we'll see how much damage we can do. It does 9,676. And then Ares joins in with an Art of War. These next two turns will probably be the last ones for Venom. You don't see it going past Ares and Hawkeye. Especially not when War Never Changes procced yet again, and we get a Brawl. On Ares' turn we'll start with his level 6, and that's Personal War. It's a quick action and you should use it every turn that you can. Then we will finish the epic boss off with an Art of War. Next it's going to be Hawkeye against a lone tactician, so one attack should finish it. After this we'll be moving on to PvP battles, We're going to be using this same team, but we're going to switch up weapons a little bit. And I do want to say that when everything goes fine with this team, and they start proccing all their different abilities, they're really almost impossible to beat. But you do kind of have to have everything going your way. And I just want to say that because it looks really impressive, but it's not guaranteed to work. Certainly not every time. But with that being said, Ares is definitely a strong PvP character. He really has the potential to change the whole scene. First, he has amazing passive abilities. The fact that he comes with a built-in coordinated attack, as well as an Intimidate, which lowers attack dramatically. You can see a huge difference whenever it procs and the damage that is dealt. Not to mention a level 9 which can remove all buffs and stun the entire enemy team. On top of that, it's catastrophic, so it can't be protected against, it ignores most avoidance effects, and it's guaranteed to hit. Then his level 2 applies Despair, so it removes and prevents resurrection effects, and prevents most healing while active. And this hits all characters as well. And we're actually going to use his level 2 right now. Now this is going to help neutralize Phoenix, but the only problem is, when you use it too early, Phoenix can use Phoenix Fire directly afterwards, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And I hope that they fix this in the future, because I don't think it should work that way at all. But the main thing right here is we do want to finish their agent off. So let's go ahead and shoot him with an attack from Hawkeye. That's enough to take him down. Now it's their Ares attack, and we did proc 10,000 yard stare. So he has Intimidated and Broken Will. And look at how little damage he does. It makes such a huge difference. On top of that, we get another War Never Changes proc. So we shoot their Ares, and we cause some drain stamina and chain lightning. He uses a crush your enemies, and he is able to stun 2 of our characters. So this is kind of an interesting battle between 2 Ares. There's the Phoenix Fire. It doesn't do too much damage. Luckily, when you use Despair, you probably want to take out Phoenix, since like I said, she will use Phoenix Fire on her very next attack. Now on our Ares turn, we're going to use Personal War, which is a quick action, and it puts Weak Point on the opponent. So that guarantees that the next attack is a hit and a crit. And then we're going to use his level 1 Art of War. And that's because we want to put Bleed on Ares and cause a hemorrhaging attack. He still has Despair, so we can finish him off. So basically our thought process is we want to do as much damage as possible. And luckily we get a coordinated attack, so Hawkeye takes Ares down. Next, we are attacking an Infiltrator, so we're going to try to Pinpoint Target her, and then stun her. And that'll hopefully stop her from counterattacking. She was stunned, so we're not going to get counterattacked this time. We also get Rapid Fire, and our agent joins in on the attack. Not only that, Ares also joins in, so he hits her with an Art of War, bleeding, and hemorrhaging. Now all we have to do is finish her off with Hawkeye, and we do so with plenty of attacks to spare. Now in this next battle, we're facing off against a Scrapper Quicksilver, a Bruiser Agent, and P5 Phoenix. So there's good news and bad news. Scrapper Quicksilver will get 2 attacks against our Infiltrator, but he is going to enrage Ares. It's a pretty decent trade-off, depending on how much damage he does. Also, sometimes the AI does something stupid like a tag team instead of blinding punches, so that definitely helps out as well. Then we get really good turn order as well, and that's because we're going to get Ares, our agent, and Hawkeye all in a row. So now that it's Ares' turn, we just have to figure out which character should we attack. And I'm thinking we're going to go after Phoenix, mainly because we do want to use Despair, but we don't want to cause Phoenix Fire. So let's start out by hitting her with our level 6, and that's Personal War, and it will put Weak Point on Phoenix. First, Quicksilver hits us with the Blast from the Past. Then we use Personal War, and it does amazing damage on Phoenix. Next, we're going to follow that up with his level 2, and that's Modern Warfare. This should do some great damage on the entire team, and it places Despair on everyone. At this point, Phoenix is so close to death, it's going to be easy to finish her off. So with our agent, we're actually going to target someone else. But let's start out by using our quick action items. The very first thing we're going to do is use the Scroll of Angelob. That removes any War Frenzy or Quickness stacks or anything like that. After that, we're going to use the Shepherd's Staff. Like I mentioned earlier, the other good thing about using quick action items is the fact that we already proc coordinated attack. So when we do use our weapon, we can get a chance for our teammates to join in. Now we're going to use Coulson's Revenge on their agent. And we're expecting some major damage. And we were right, it does 43,000 and finishes their agent. Now on Hawkeye's turn, we're going to use Pinpoint Target on Quicksilver. Then we're going to fire a volley at both characters. That'll kill Phoenix, and we may get rapid fire procs against Quicksilver. And we did. So this battle is pretty much going in our favor, and we're having an easy time with it. That turn order with these three characters is going to be tough to beat. Now in this last battle, we're facing a team that used a Blaster Phoenix. So that's a pretty big mistake in my opinion. The turn order is pretty spread out, but we're going to get multiple attacks against Phoenix with Hawkeye. As usual, we start out with the Pinpoint Target. Then we're going to try the Stunner. We fire the Trick Arrow, and then we're going to see if we get Rapid Fire. And we definitely do. Now this is where Heroic Age Hawkeye can fire a ton of different types of arrows. He started with that Electrical Arrow, and next is going to be a Smoke Bomb Arrow. He's firing that as well, and he finishes Phoenix already. So she will proc Death and Rebirth, but we still have another attack due to tactical maneuvers. Now that was crazy lucky, but we didn't even need our other attack. That's because we kept proccing Rapid Fire. So this isn't typical, this isn't going to happen every time. But like I said, when everything's proccing right, you could really take down a much stronger opponent with this team. On my agent's turn, we're going to start by using the Shepherd's Staff. And then after that, we're going to use the Scroll of Angelob. And I'll explain why. The reason is because Magneto magnetizes our character. But if we use the Scroll of Angelob just before we attack, we remove Magnetized. Then he has to reapply it. But since he does this after you already start attacking, he will not preemptively strike you. So we can fire the Coulson's Revenge at Magneto without fear of getting attacked. This particular opponent looks like he's using the Void Generator. And he's also using the new item, the Mutagen Emitter. Our Ares procs a 10,000 yard stare on him, so his attack will be pretty weak. Their agent barely does over 1,000 damage to Hawkeye. And on top of that, we get a War Never Changes attack. Next, Magneto does try to stun Hawkeye, but it's unsuccessful. So we're going to use Personal War on Magneto. Then we're going to follow that up with a level 9 Crush Your Enemies. After this attack, now only their agent remains. So that's pretty much going to bring us towards the end of this review. In my opinion, Ares is a powerhouse, and he's definitely viable in PvP, and a lot of fun in PvE as well. If you haven't already got him, I do think it's worth 25 gold to skip that last task, if that's what you have to do to get him. He is much stronger than he was in the team-up, so don't worry if you thought he was weak in the missions. After you recruit him, you won't be disappointed. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helped. Lastly, I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos.